Hello friends, and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel and another Terrarium video. My name is Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. Terrarium is a sponsor of the Crypto Stacker channel, and currently Terrarium is doing pretty darn well. In the last 24 hours, up 6.7%, had actually spiked up at one point, was up about 30%, and has since sold down some. Now, I talked yesterday in my video about the AMA that was going to happen today, that I thought it might be a catalyst for some rising prices. We saw some yesterday, we saw some today, and my fears of it being somewhat of a buy the rumor, sell the news type event, where we see this with crypto quite a bit. You know, there's something big coming, people get excited, they're looking for some kind of a bomb to drop that might potentially really push the price up. And so you can see here that it did pump and then it has sold down some. Now, the comfort is it hasn't sold down nearly to where it was at the beginning of the week. So we saw this dramatic rise leading up to the AMA and it dropped some, but it seems to be holding a higher line right now. So hopefully we'll start to see consolidation at this point, or a sideways trading band, and have a higher base or platform to build from going forward. So I will show you in the fundamentals, there's some really fascinating things going on. The fundamentals to me, you guys, are similar to when you visit a doctor's office and you walk in, the first thing they do is check your vital signs. They check your temperature, they check your blood pressure, they check your weight, you know, and they're looking for some kind of leading indicators for changes in your health. So fundamentals to me are more like that, whereas technical analysis is just essentially showing lines of support and places for breakthrough. And yes, technical analysis is important. It's easier for my brain to process this type of analysis, which is more fundamental. So as I read through this, you'll start to see some of the interesting factors that I'm talking about. Currently, 9,246 holders, an increase of 84. The most we've seen in any 24-hour period in about the last 30 days. The market cap has ticked up to 86,770,000. That increases the ranking of Terrarium among all cryptocurrencies up to 317th. And you might think, well, that's not that great, 317th. But you have to know, CoinGecko's listing 13,419 coins. So it's not a terrible place to be. Not too bad at all, actually. Price of Terrarium, 8017. The volume for Terrarium in the last 24 hours, massive, you guys, 472,000. We have had higher volumes than this in the past, but again, in the last 30 days, it's been kind of trading slow, flat, and sideways. So nice to see a good number here. And I can tell you, the burn ticks up, and so do the reflections, which I'll be showing you at the end of the video. But the burns ticked up to 51.58% and nearly 14 trillion tokens burned in the last 24 hours. This 24 trillion you see here, that's an accumulation of 5 days worth of data. So 14 trillion or 13 trillion 700 billion, if you like your numbers more literal, that's a great burn for a 24-hour period. And the thing, you know, is if we can continue to see some volume, continue to see excitement as we get closer and closer to the release of the use cases for Terrarium, this could be a regular occurrence, which would be really good. All right, so what was it that was driving all this today? What was the hype? Here you go. You've got what some people call a star-studded lineup. Definitely some of the big voices in the YouTube space for crypto were all on this, including in the audience. We captured Ryan Patrick here in this, but Ryan was in the audience. There were lots of great community members, but YourPop, Ahmed, we had Zach Humphries, we had Austin Hilton, we had Auzsome Austin, and I was there, of course, as well as all of the development team and the senior advisors for Terrarium. And, you know, if I'm honest, I was hoping that there was going to be some kind of a really big revelation, but really it was a progress update, and some really cool things still went down. Milton stood up, took his camera again with him, and walked through the Terrarium Headquarters. So if you haven't seen this yet, you should really check it out. The headquarters look very beautiful. Everything looks like it's nicely finished, kind of higher end finishes, and the workspaces are all in place. The office is actually open for business as of today. So that was really, really cool. Now, I've heard some people talking about Terrarium and, that they need to do more with marketing. They need to really start driving the hype. Well, Milton actually addressed that today in the AMA. He was asked a question by Zach Humphries about, what are you going to do to show everybody how different the Terrarium Exchange is going to be from what's currently available. And Milton basically said, the exchange is just an exchange. It's a place for people to go where they can trade and, you can invest and track your investments. And certainly it's going to be done well. But what he said is it's really going to be about the team behind it and the customer-centric approach that we'll have as users. So if you have an issue, if you've got something that comes up, you'll actually be able to reach out and get people to help you with those. Those of us who are accustomed to working with tokens in the DeFi space know very well that there is no service whatsoever with the swaps, right? If you have a problem, if something happens with your tokens or your DeFi wallet, we don't really know what to do. There's really no contact information. And if you ask for help on a platform like Twitter, you get 5 or 6 invitations to give away everything you've got. People will come in and try to scam you if you ask for help. So what do? Well, you just kind of have to learn and grind through it over time, watch a lot of content and try to consume it there, get inside the telegrams and ask for help from, more official sources. But Milton was talking about the team that they're putting together and the support that they're going to be giving to people on their investment platforms. So I thought it was really, really good. If you haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend watching it, putting your playback speed in at least 1.5. You get through the material a lot faster. And it was a great conversation. It was fun to be on there with people who I've admired as a younger content creator, not so much by age, but by the amount of time I've been doing it. It was fun to be in there with some of these guys who are really giants in the crypto space. Both Austin and YourPop have over 100,000 subscribers each. So really, really cool. Now, if we were to jump into the Twitter space, the first thing I want to do actually is show you my Twitter feed and just say thank you to you all. Thank you for following me, for supporting me. My Twitter followers have just crossed through 3,000. So I appreciate you all very much on that. If you're not following me, please do. I always put out anytime I post new content, and it'll just be a way to get you a reminder. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you enjoy the content, please do that as well. All right, jumping in here, we'll look at a couple of things. So this is Milton's Twitter feed, and yesterday he posted something that I think is pretty interesting. It is the interface update for Terrapool. Terrapool will be the first use case for the Terrarium project that will actually launch. And what it is almost like a starter or a launch pad for Web3 projects. So he put out a little video that kind of walks you through the different interface, as a user, if you're creating a project, what that will look like, what the experience will look like. I'm excited. It's supposed to be launching here sometime in the next 30 to 60 days. And I'm really, really going to be interested to see not so much the use case, but who will be the first projects to take advantage of it, and how, as Terrarium investors, will maybe that bring opportunities to us to hopefully be on the forefront of some of the new projects in the crypto space. I think it's really cool. You can find it in Milton's Twitter feed. And of course, follow him as well. He's been a lot more active in social media. He's up to 3,300 followers. So, it's good to get out and support the team. Now, Dr. Praveen mentioned this today, and I'm going to be leaving a link in the description, but he has published another business article. This one is on insiderfinance.io. it's just another really nice overview of Terrarium. There's lots of branding in here. Try to get that out there in front of people. So hopefully, eventually, like the Nike swoosh or, your favorite brand, whatever that is, when you see it, you know it, right? And so this is just putting Terrarium out there to broader audiences and giving people an opportunity to, learn more about the project and hopefully drawing them in, right? We want more investors. We want more people to join the Terrarium family and help the project move forward. All right. The last thing I want to show you is just my reflections for the last 24 hours. And guys, this is a good one. So 24 hours, my current bag, 5,757,528,000,000. And I have received 473 million Terrarium tokens through the reflections program or the rewards program in the last 24 hours. How that works essentially is there is a tax whenever anybody buys or sells Terrarium, and that tax gets distributed back to the holders. And so since February 21st, I've received 27,141,000,000 Terrarium tokens as rewards, currently worth just under $50. So it's starting to build up, you guys. It's exciting for me. It's a way I can increase my bag without constantly throwing more money at the project, though I am still considering increasing my position. So friends, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time. Please check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.